They continued, "If administration finds out, everyone's career is over." Without thinking, I stood frozen behind the wall. One nurse noticed me. Both suddenly became silent. They quickly walked away without another word. At first I thought grief was making me imagine things, but something inside me wouldn't let it go. The next morning I returned to the hospital earlier than usual. I politely asked for copies of Daniel's medical records. The receptionist hesitated. She told me only certain documents could be released. That hesitation made me even more suspicious. Over the following week, I kept asking questions. Every answer seemed different. Different doctors gave different explanations. Different nurses avoided eye contact. Something wasn't adding up. Finally, one elderly nurse quietly stopped me in the hallway. She looked terrified. Then she whispered, "Your husband deserves the truth, and so do you." She handed me the name of another physician and walked away before I could ask anything else. That afternoon, I scheduled an independent consultation. The specialist reviewed every scan, every blood test, every biopsy. Nearly 2 hours later, he looked at me with complete disbelief. He said, "I don't understand why they told you there were no treatment options. There are treatments. There has always been a chance." I felt the room spinning. Someone had either made an unforgivable mistake or something much worse had happened. With help from another hospital, Daniel was transferred immediately. Within days he began a completely different treatment plan. It wasn't easy. Some days were terrifying. Some days we thought we would lose him. But week after week, he slowly became stronger. Months later, Daniel walked out of the hospital on his own. Not perfectly healthy, but alive. An internal investigation eventually uncovered serious administrative failures, miscommunication between departments, and critical reporting errors that delayed proper treatment. Several employees lost their positions. Hospital policies were completely rewritten. Most importantly, families after us would never have to experience what we did. Today Daniel still carries scars from that terrible chapter. So do I. But every morning we wake up together reminds us that hope should never disappear just because someone in authority says it has. Sometimes asking one more question can save a life. If I had kept walking that day, if I had ignored those whispered words, I would have buried the love of my life believing everything possible had been done. Instead, one overheard conversation changed our future forever. Never be afraid to ask questions. Never stop fighting for someone you love. And never underestimate the power of the truth. If this story touched your heart, subscribe for more emotional, inspiring stories that remind us hope can appear when we least expect it.